Welcome, everyone, to the 273rd weekly MLP Drawing School live critique stream. It's May 25th, and it's actually 6. Oh, it's 6-1. But it was 6 when I said it, so it counts. Woohoo! We hit 6. Congratulations. We're on time.
Yay.
10:58. We're early as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
We're late 1 minute.
Is my clock wrong?
How do our internets give us
It
a
like
slightly
just
different
turned.
time?
It just turned 6:01.
Shouldn't
during
it be synchronized for all of us? I never understood this.
So your quartz clock doesn't...
I think you are
stay.
late, Zai. Your clock is late.
Yeah.
Because it
It's
just
all, like,
sent for both
internet
me and
times.
Ali.
I'm 10:59 now.
Yeah, you
I get
sound
this
like
from
your
Twitter as well,
clock's...
they're like, hey, it's time for us to go on. I'm like, not by my clock, it's not. And I'm
My clock is really late 'cause it says 8 AM. I don't know what's going on.
Are you sure it's not
I'm not
8
sure.
a.m. 01?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. How'd you know, you wizard?
I have the power of an actual synchronized clock, which Zai doesn't seem to have.
All right. This one runs on atomic time. Make sure your
Okay.
clock fits with that one. Atomic
I'm not
time
an
is...
atom,
You did
though.
detect it automatically.
Yeah,
Oh,
but-
it's so too! We're like 2 minutes now!
Well, no,
And
we
30
started 2 minutes
seconds
ago.
almost. Oh, we're already going!
There's a difference here. Yeah.
Zai, you're late. But we'll talk to you from the future, it's fine.
No, it means that we can be early by my time.
Zai is just a slow
Sorry,
time
sir.
traveler.
We're all traveling 1 second a second, and Zai's traveling half a second a second.
Wait, are they accelerating away from us?
I'm
'Cause
not a physicist, I'm a biologist. And
Goodbye,
sometimes an
Zai.
art.
You can see around this, my brain will be too confused, so...
My understanding of general relativity is objects accelerating away from you experience time
Oh, yeah,
differently
yeah.
than you. But this is an
Zai's
art stream,
gonna
not
get
a...
older,
Yeah.
faster
that's
than us.
Yeah.
Get the science
I'm
out of
sorry,
here.
No,
Zai.
slower. Because they're
yeah,
experiencing
slower.
time slower than us.
True. So he's faster,
Yeah.
but slower.
Yeah.
True. That's how physics works.
Get the
Science.
science out of here. We're here for ponies.
Yeah, we're here for horses.
Well,
Right.
if you put a pony in orbit of the planet Earth, it will age slower than a pony in planet Earth.
There is a pony up in orbit.
Oh wow!
Yeah, there's little Luna. Do you not
Oh
remember
right,
that?
the engraving.
Yeah,
That's why she was so young when she came back.
exactly.
I figured it out after 10, 11 years.
And then Celestia just was jealous, so she made her grow up.
Sounds about
It's
right.
like, if I don't get to be young, you don't get to either.
All right, and with this headcanon established, let's get on with the stream. So, as always, we got a lot of art on our hands, so we're actually not going to do as always, unless if we still have energy at the end of this one. But if you have questions or art you'd like critiqued, please fire it to us next week.
Yeah, just
We're
keep
on
it
the
in your head.
Here,
or
this
go to
is
the subreddit.
this is the blanket PSA. If you want critique, why don't you try giving critique to others? Because this is all about artists helping artists. And while we love helping everyone, this place was founded on everyone helping each other. So the best way to learn is to critique others and work with others together. So if you want your art critiqued on this stream, try to critique other people as well.
Yeah.
I tell you, it works. The other day, I was doing this horrible thing of drawing a human. They're a weird
my God.
headcanon creature.
That's so... How could you lower yourself to that? I mean, I'm not drawing a human right now, I'm drawing an elf, so that's different.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, they got pointy ears.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I drew a human the other day, but it was fine because it was a Pokemon trainer human.
Yeah,
that clears it from being difficult.
Yes.
They're clearly not humans.
None of the people who submitted their art in the critique channel are actually with us, are they?
I don't believe so unless Embroidered speaks up in the chat. But don't believe so.
All right.
I think
we
Embroidered mentioned she wasn't here or something.
Then let's just do this the sane order. Starting top left-hand corner.
No introductions today. We'll just do it.
One true reading direction. Left to right.
Hello, Spellbound.
I think
I
just
I don't
left
think
is this side.
your picture is. Oh, embroidered is here. Okay.
Oh, hi,
Uh,
embroidered.
Spellbound.
Oh, well, lad.
If you go look at your post, Soldier left critique on it. Do you have any questions beyond what they asked? We might be able to fill it in, but what they've said and what we've said on your previous one still pretty much holds true. I'm not sure if you have any other additional questions for us on that one. We're going to actually skip the first one and move all the way over to this Human, because Embroidered is in our chat, and we do like to play favorites.
This isn't an elf or a Pokemon trainer.
It could be both.
Or it could be. It could be both.
I'll fix it for you.
There we go. Yeah. Wait. Then he said, "Yeah." Let's just fix this.
Early Lord of the
Uh-huh.
Rings didn't have elves with pointy ears.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was later editions.
I've never seen that.
It
Or I think
it was his descriptions of elves.
Was it the books? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I figured.
I've never seen the movies, which would be the opposite of the early things. I'm assuming in this.
They
There's
all had
books.
pointy ears. They had pointy enough ears to be used as a chisel. Like, it was hilarious.
I mean, if you run out of knives,
I got an
you have
help
to use
here.
something.
So Embroidered. Any questions on us? You had a question about the hand being handy, which is now completely covered by a Pokeball. Do you have anything else? Mainly wanted to check the proportions make sense, especially for that godforsaken hand. I assume the godforsaken hand isn't the one that's gone.
Yeah, well, that's actually not a bad hand. I'm not gonna lie.
It's very good. Yeah. This finger, like it. Ooh, that's not a pen. This finger does start with some weird
be.
sizing. Like your first bone is not the same length as. Yeah, those first two bones should be about the same length, right? And it looks like the second bone. Man, I wish I could enhance more without completely nerfing the picture, but anyway, the second finger bone should be about the same length as that first finger bone, and generally the width, unless if you got like a lot of meat on your fingers, generally the width doesn't taper. That it's pretty much consistent. So I just keep that finger width about the same as the second and third bone. But that's picking at hairs at this point. Your pictures are fun. I actually really like the way you do your poses. They're pretty static, but they have enough life in it to show, the character leaning a bit, sort of relaxing, looking like they're actually doing something rather than just floating in space. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's good. With the hand, I'd probably just say, take a look at the sort of portion between your ankle, and your wrist, and the wrist could probably be a tiny bit bigger, just a tiny little bit bigger, if you wanted. And when you're looking at the hand from over here, probably this like shape here, like this like bump, is probably one of the important things to just hint at, just mention, sort of thing. I think one of the reasons why you're seeing a lot of trouble with this, and you're looking at it and going, "Oh my god, what the hell is this?" It's just because there's not quite enough represented here on the thumb, kind of a thing. For the thumb being angled like this, I'd probably expect to see just a little bit more of like this lower joint sort of pushed in front of the cup, just like a tiny bit more. But to be honest, doesn't look too bad. It's when you're wrapping it like around a cup like this, and we're kind of seeing the inside of the hand wrapped around something circular. It's always going to be really difficult to get that looking accurate and all that sort of stuff. So it might be good just to get literally a see-through cup, and then to take some reference pictures of you holding it in different angles, and then just seeing how you can sort of draw the inside of the hand from that sort of thing. Because this looks fun. To be honest, it gets the point across. It sort of expresses what I think a picture like this kind of needs to express, and yeah, just something to work on and practice on in future. It's a complex kind of a pose and stuff in terms of the hands. So I really like these whole leg construction things. They're really interesting. I can see the pony influence in them around this area,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but they look very interesting. I like them.
You got any other questions for us, Embroidered? I also can confirm I bought that Clip Studio pack. It's wonderful. There's a lot of very fun brushes in there.
The friend and stuff was good.
Yeah. And interestingly,
It's
it didn't take the Clip Studio paint and like just exploded everywhere. It just worked.
yeah. There's a lot. It's intimidating because of the size, but I
Yeah, I
genuinely
haven't even started going
genuinely
through it yet.
have found some of my favorite brushes there.
All right. Then let's move on to our next picture. I also have an important question. What are they drinking? Because it looks tasty. Anything that comes in a cup like that must have a lot of sugar.
It's a slushy from
Mhm.
IGA, clearly.
If you think of getting like a creamy cooler from Costa. Although now they only have like the thick like cardboard straws that just melt.
Encourages you
I
to drink it
I
quicker.
just asked them not to give me a straw. I just bring it home anyway because I'm wearing a mask.
Oh. I need to just remember to bring a straw with me. I miss like the big thick spoon straws.
So the next picture is by our Borealis system. Borealis system, sorry. Hey yo, I'd like some advice on how to get the background to feel less flat without having to shade all of it, and I'd like a second opinion on how on if the muzzle should be extended on the middle pony. Thank you. You want background depth without shading? Overlap. Put objects in your foreground, midground, background. Creating depth by placing objects helps a lot. Hope that makes sense. What does that look like? Do I even have any pictures this week that have a lot of depth to them? No. Can't show you on any of the pictures here. Can I grab references? It's gonna take a
You
bit.
can also make the lines that are close to us bigger,
Mm.
and that will make it look like it's closer to us. Oh god, just cannot get the line right. But then make the ponies a little bit less dark, and then in the back make it really thin.
Yep. Thicker lines sort of creates a feeling that it's closer. I also drew like a little, you can have like I'm assuming this is a bit of like a shop fronty sort of a thing. So a little fridge to overlap here, and like another little countery sort of a thing to overlap there. Can sort of help break up the stuff and introduce some of that overlap.
If this is a front window, you can always do. Boom, we got like a planter sitting up here, a little flower. Woo, flower. Because that's how flowers work these days.
Maybe there's a pony silhouette walking by
Yep,
front.
it's a big
You
butt.
don't actually need to draw the whole pony. Just draw a weird shape. Then blur it. There you go, foreground.
What are you eating, CPC? Sounds delicious. Like gummies.
Sorry! Jelly beans.
You brought enough to share with the class?
If you can make it to the UK,
Yay, I'll be there.
Inky seems to have some kind of teleportation magic. At night he's in Australia, and during the day he's in the UK. So
Sounds reasonable.
you could ask him.
All right, I think that covers the questions they ask. Anyone else have any other advice for this one? I mean, a little bit of proportion work, but it's too bad.
They asked about the
The muzzle on the middle horse.
muzzle, so I did a little muzzle. I just put a box, and then I drew around the box.
Hmm.
I'm not good at words. So what I do, have a ball, and then use your cross to know the middle of the ball. Then use this curved cross to see where the ball is pointing. Then this marks your nose and your eyes. These are the edges. And then you have a little box here, preferably pointing in the same direction as the face, so you don't get a broken muzzle. And then you just make that whole thing a bit rounder. And some people do better with spheres. And then you put in the nostrils, which helps show you the face of the muzzle. And there you go. You have a horse face. Not the best horse face, but muzzle. That's how I do my muzzles. It might be a derp horse, this one, because the eyes aren't the most centered.
All right. Shall we move on? Oh God, there's horses everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Pix, I see you're drawing some blue here. Got any?
Yeah,
priors?
not too much. For the horn, I like putting a dot sort of in the middle and then tracing out, and then just a little bit above the eyes, and that tends to give me sort of a decent like center point for where I should start the horn. The ears, honestly, there are a million different ways to do ears. This is just sort of the way that I do them, is a little bit usually curved on one side and then straight on the other, and then a little bit of a thing in the front, and that works for me. But yeah, you can just like study other artists whose ears you like and try redrawing those and use that to refine your ear shape in future. But no big dramas though. Looks good.
All right.
Good drawing. Good horse.
Okay, Spellbound Canvas has a question about their picture, so let me pull that up. But-
I should put this jelly beans away so I'll stop chewing on stream.
Just want the jelly beans, though.
You have to share them.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
The rule.
All right, I already booked the coach. I'm getting as far west in the UK as possible, and I'll start throwing them. Be
Sounds
ready
good.
to catch them.
All right.
If you throw them while you're on the train, you can use the velocity of the train, not the full velocity.
For Pixie, I'm not quite sure if it can go that far around the
What?
globe.
Oh no.
You might have to wait until I'm in Portugal, because that's further south.
All right, so they're asking advice for the ruffled skirt. We've talked plenty of times about their proportions and body. Let's talk about their skirt. So,
Hmm.
I'm just kind of blocking in some quick color just so we can do some shading going on here. The most important question here is where's the light source? I'm gonna do it from sort of a generic like, oh, we're coming down and spotlight. They look like a performer. Maybe they just have a spotlight coming directly down on them in some form or fashion. So they get a purple tutu. Lovely little. I just colored this one area in since it's all kind of applies to the same area, but changes depending on the light. Um, we're gonna have like a nice like fuchsia pink light going on. So I'll just get a little pink going. And really, this drawing over here, absolutely excellent to demonstrate the form that the skirts have. It kind of has this pattern, right, that you have drawn on the outside where it bunches up and then tucks down into itself. So it forms these little hills and ruffles and bumps. And the same idea
Just remember
here. Oh, go ahead.
that there's more fabric under the. It doesn't just go like this. If it goes like this, but the end is here and the fabric is being pulled towards here, then there's also fabric down here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good
It's not
point.
just a wave,
I have
and that's
I
what
have
I was
had to have
showing on the side here.
many a struggle to learn how to draw frills.
Frills are fun. I love drawing them.
Yeah, they are once you actually know how to do it.
Yeah.
But essentially, you're just gonna highlight where the skirt comes up. You're gonna highlight where the large bumples are, like here. You would get all the risen areas. Yeah, whoever's doing the yellow, perfect demonstration. All those risen areas are gonna get hit from that light if we're, doing one that's kind of like from the front a little bit and coming down and showing the full body. And it's a matter of just following those ruffles and pinching them back up to the center. Just like over here. And of course, the darker areas, you get your shadows. So shadow in the creases. Mm. Does that make a bit sense, Spellbound? It may seem like it's complicated, but it's really just a little wavy pattern, and all fabric genuinely gets shaded the same way. It's just a matter of what direction the fabric's folded and how it's folded and all that.
How I think
Mhm.
about it for the shape itself, like this little creases here, is let me get a better color because I'm still in yellow. So I have like the pony body and skirt going around over here. And I just put like an imaginary, imagine like perspective point here. Then you do your curves, your ruffles, and then all these lines are going towards the same point. Same for the lines under here will go to this point, because that's where the fabric is being pulled.
LD,
That's
do you
a
want to
little-
move over a little bit? Just so they can view. Ah!
I ran out of space. This had to go
Sure.
away. So it's kind of like perspective, but you don't need to be perfect because it's fabric, so it's better than perspective. So you end up with this whole mess. And then just clean it up. And then here that would be this.
But the good thing with like when you're doing like construction work like this is you can always do all this mess. You can do everything, and then just put it on its own layer, and then reduce the opacity, and then boom, draw your clean, neat lines over the top.
I ran out of I already did this in here, so if you want a better drawn one, there's the other one on the side. This was just to explain how I go about thinking about making the skirt.
All right, you got any follow-up questions, Spellbound?
You got this.
Yeah, cute drawing, good stuff.
All right, let's do this horse. So it's whoever just circled it. Yeah, this is by Sun a Dow Fangirl 99. I think that's how it's supposed to be said. Decided to try an art trend of what your OC would look like if they never experienced their trauma. This is sanity if she never got a bit turned after being abandoned.
What do you do if your OC doesn't have trauma and you're just kind of a nice person?
Hug them.
Yes. Well, that should be the answer regardless. So I agree. So I like this. I like the idea of this trend to remove edginess and just see what your OC would be like as just like a normal OC.
You know what? Some days you gotta just make the characters edgy as fuck. Gotta go with the red and black
Yes.
OC
Sometimes you
Alicorn.
need edgy and sometimes you need wholesome. Sometimes
I feel
you
like
need
I've just
both.
never really been into the like edgy, like gritty backstory kind of OC. I always just make mine too nice. Even with D&D, like all my friends like I lost my parents, or like my village was killed and whatever, and then I'm just like, my character's family is just like kind of chill, and she just wanted to go traveling, I guess.
My one my one pony finder OC just didn't know what ponies were, so she wasn't
amazing
exactly
backstory.
traumatized, she was just stupid.
I love
It
it.
was great. It's great.
My backstory was that my pony likes possums. That's the whole backstory.
Mm-hmm.
It was a
That's a
great
pretty
one. Maybe
pretty
our
possum
TM
one,
should
yeah.
make another one. Maybe with cats.
Oh my.
Hint, hint. Magical cats. And what are we doing? Critique.
Yeah, we're doing critique.
So, some of the things that I've done on and around the body, on and around the body kind of area, is this shoulder. So with my shoulders, from this kind of an angle, there's not really any kind of like weird. They're not really pushing their shoulder or their arm in any kind of like weird ways. So this hoof will have like something like a big muscly kind of a thing up here. Go look at horse anatomy, please. I don't know anatomy, but the important thing is that it's probably gonna like come out a bit, and then it's gonna do something similar in here, and yeah, it just produces a bit more of like a natural kind of a shape. I slightly moved this back hoof so that it goes like in a bit, just for a little bit of difference between the two front hooves. And the cool thing is with when you're drawing this hoof in particular, the sort of transition, you can actually leave this without any lines, and it kind of helps the hoof. It helps the hoof kind of look like it's more connected to the body, sort of a thing, having like a smooth sort of connection there. And you can have like a little bit of like a fluffy kind of stuff. But yeah. The wing is just a little bit small, but that's all good. I just made it a bit bigger, but I'm also not good at drawing wings, so it's probably not good to look at mine for reference.
Just wing it.
Yep, just wing it, exactly. Oh, and
Don't
this
wing
area
it! Look
here.
at references!
Yep, look at references. I'm a liar. So this area here is a bit of a tricky one. It's hard to work out whether the thigh is gonna be in front or the sort of belly is gonna be in front. What I like doing is I just like having a bit of a like kind of do that for the belly-ish sort of a thing. Do that for sort of that thigh thing, and then where they meet, just have like a little bit of like a something like that in the middle, and do something like that usually. But that's just me, look at other artists' art and reference them and all that sort of stuff. Anyone else want to point out or mention things?
I just did a quick little thing for the tail. Your tail right here, it comes out a bit too low. That's more about where the butt would actually be, like the, pony's poop. Simple thing to do is just hike it up a bit. Basically, tails are attached to the spine, so if you can follow your spine, it comes out above the butthole.
Still don't really know why this is the most common thing we see.
I mean, I was
Don't
recently
follow
looking
your
through.
poop, follow your spine. Don't follow your dreams, follow your spine.
It's not
Okay,
it's
follow
not
the spine.
something humans think of. We don't have tails, so we're just kind of like, yeah,
Yeah.
it comes out the butt, right? There's the butt, so we'll make it come out the butt.
Clearly, they just haven't spent enough time obsessing over cat girls like I have.
Clearly.
Otherwise,
Another
cute
totally
stuff.
not a human that side draws. Cut girls.
Yeah, if they have pointy ears or cat ears, then it's fine. Or snake tail instead of legs.
Elves are just
Or horse
discount
body instead of legs.
cat girls. They couldn't go all the way. They just got
Ears are
pointy
just too
ears.
low.
All right. Shall we move on to our next one?
Let's do it.
Yeah, good drawing. Keep submitting stuff to us in future.
Oh, yep, there we go. Next one is a twiggly. A twoggly?
Sparkle. A twiggle twoggle. Mini sparkle.
Where is this
Chickler
one?
has very long twig legs.
Oh no, did I close it? No, I didn't. This is by Malene Martinez. MLP fan art. Okay. So you might have noticed we've deleted a few of your posts and a few of your comments. Not meaning to do it in a mean way, we're just trying to make sure the rules are followed. If you scroll down on the sidebar or before you post, you'll see a bunch of rules. Number 3 is posting period. We ask that people only post a maximum of 1 picture every 24 hours. I know it sounds lame because you're like, but I got a lot of pictures. This ain't an art gallery, unfortunately. As much as we'd love to stick all the pictures up, it's a place where people are looking for some help on their art. And if it's overflown with a bunch of pictures, we won't be able to dig through it all to get people the help they're looking for on their art. In addition to that, likely, and I can guarantee, actually, not just likely, I can guarantee there is not enough improvement between one day and the next day to warrant coming back for secondsies of critique. It's no one I have ever met in these 11 years of doing this works that fast. People will punch out a whole bunch of pictures, but generally it's small steps of improvement. You are never improving night and day in a single picture, as much as I'd love to see it. It just is not the reality of the situation. That's why we ask 24 hours. Let it sink in, let you play with it a bit, let you push a bit more forward, and then come back. So that's why we
if
did
you
it.
do have a few things that you like and you want help with and all that sort of stuff, let them build up over a few days, and then go, okay, which one of these am I most happy with? Which one of these do I think represents sort of my best or the thing that I most want critique on, and then submit that one.
Yeah, or which one did contained enough things that I frequently struggle with that I could get help with and then generally improve my art overall. Just whichever one you think is the most appropriate to send with.
Now for the deleted comment. Sorry for deleting your comments, but we don't want to see people posting their private phone numbers in our subreddit. That is going to lead to you being doxxed. Don't self-dox yourself. If you're running a company off of that phone, that's fine, but our subreddit's not quite the place to run a company off of, as much as we'd love to just cover it with our commission information. We ask that you use the /MLP commissions, I believe is still a subreddit, or you can use your DeviantArt, you can use your Tumblr, Twitter, whatever. The MLP Drawing School is not quite the right place for that, despite it being covered in artists. Absolutely covered. Just like
We're all starving artists. We can't afford each other's stuff.
yeah. Unless if you accept what was the dollars? The coins we found the other day?
Exposure.
Exposure coins, yes.
Silly cryptocurrency. So the wing, I've just added a tiny little line here because I think that the wing, if it was coming down, it would probably be coming like down along somewhere around about there. The shape of this whole thing is really difficult and weird. I've done a little bit of a red line over it, but yeah, it's improving these sorts of shapes is going to be a lot about being able to visualize your shapes properly and draw contours over them, which basically means, let me draw a thing here. So imagine this is like a neck or like a cylinder or whatever. Being able to draw contours is about sort of being able to sort of look at it and understand how the form flows and all that sort of stuff. And if you can do that over sort of ponies, then you'll be able to do stuff which like lays on their fur a little bit better. The ear. This ear is fine. It's just a little bit not really directional. So she's sort of looking this kind of a way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like a straight on this side, and then the other side I'm going to have curved. And then I like doing this for the internal of the ear, so just something like that. Oh, and one of the big things, this eye goes all the way to the end of the head, which eyes kind of don't really do that. What you'll find is you'll find that this area of the side of the head is going to be pretty empty, and you can usually have, if you want to fill that space up, you can have some like hair coming back over it or something like that. But this space is going to be relatively empty. Whenever I'm sort of drawing heads and planning out how they're going to look, I always mark out a space on the side of the head. Just like this area is going to be empty, going to be nothing in it. And then you can have your eye structured however you want, but just keep it out of that sort of space. But I love all these like sparkly effects and all that sort of stuff. All that looks really good. It's just a couple of little nitpicks about the details there. So looking forward to some more of your pictures. Anyone else have stuff they want to bring up?
Man, you've done such a good job.
Hmm. Chef
know.
Kiss.
I am
It's
interested.
a good picture.
The reference you used for this, was it just this picture? Because, I mean, I found this picture, and not to say that you traced over it. I'm just wondering, like, what you're using to reference this, like to build up your references. Because, oh boy, references are magic. If you could
Yeah.
feel free to post that, I would be interested. Because it can making sure you're using the right references can also be just as important as using or
Mhm.
getting the right type of information.
Wouldn't want to study out of the wrong textbook for an exam.
Man, I was studying out of an English textbook for my math
I
exam.
was,
That was bad.
I was going to use cheat off the wrong paper, but I didn't want to perpetuate the stereotype that references are cheating.
References are not cheating. They are
They
a
are
very
not. They are
legitimate thing to
magical.
use. All right, shall we move on? Ooh, hey, Discord.
Yeah.
What did Discord do?
Oh, the Discord's
Great.
face is my background.
Oh.
Right now. So the next one is by Cyborgian, and it's rarity as Empress of Time, a reference used concept art for POP:WW. Mostly it's redrawing. The hardest part was drawing the front leg, and I'm not sure how accurate it is. More looks like human one. What is POPWW?
I have no
Prince of
idea.
Persia: Warrior Within. Oh, cool.
Ah.
Oh,
That
those
was
games
one
were
of the
fun.
better. Yeah.
It's been a while since I played one of those games.
Getting the teddy bear to beat up the Dahaku. Yeah.
I think I haven't played one of them since Sands of Time.
I just miss action
And I only had demo.
platformers.
Hmm.
Man, this
So
picture.
referring back to the leg that you brought up in your comment, this is a pose that is gonna go more towards human anatomy because pony legs, the way the bones are, the way horses work, they just can't pull this off without adjusting the length of bones and whatnot. At least to get this sort of a straight back pose you have going on. So I think the legs are pretty nice. If you wanted to bend the hooves a little, let me get a better color. Get the hooves a little, the legs and the hooves a little more pony-esque shape. It's like a matter of I'm just gonna draw to the side. I think a little clearer that way. So we have the one leg coming out, the crotch there. Uh, knee. It's almost like you're gonna anthropomorphize it a bit. It's not. Yeah. I would need more time and references, um, to really figure out this leg, but it's something about this straight here. I almost want to see it come back a bit, like a pony leg would. It's like you're missing this chunk of the leg. It just kind of Bloop, bloop. Your leg went from a pony leg to basically that. So, uh, I'm gonna look up references if anyone else wants to take over.
Yeah. I would say with a picture like this, one of the most important things is going to be bounce light. Is going to be sort of looking at. You've got the very bright spot here. Some very kind of bright spots here. Boom, boom. And figuring out how that light bounces around. With this light here, I'm not sure whether that is the source of light, whether there's like some glowy thing in the middle there that's like emanating light out, or whether it's like there's a hole in the ceiling and that's like some light coming in or something like that. But this is really, really light. Everywhere around it is super dark. So this is going to project light around, and there's going to be some lit up areas around it. And you can just go fairly low opacity, very, very low. Very smooth brush. Yeah, and just do stuff like that. And you'll notice that
I added a bunch of red back here because I interpreted it as being this big thing being the source of light. So you'd get a bunch of rim light near the edges. And also, if this is your main source of light, which is how I interpreted it, I don't know if that's the correct thing or if the thing in the middle is the source of light that's illuminating the legs. But this is red, so you'd probably see a lot more. You wouldn't see it going full white like here. I would actually just cut back a bit on the white. Your picture's already so dark that you don't really need to go that light to get super bright highlights. I would actually just go with the red, the highlights that way, instead of going white, because you don't actually have a white light, you have a red light. That was the main thing I've been working on around it.
Pixie, you were saying?
uh
Oh, I interrupted you, sorry.
no. I think I was saying most of what I wanted to. With a in general with like a picture like this, it's going to be a lot about the light and about like looking at the different light sources in different stages and doing all this. And you know these uh, these like edge lights or rim lighting up here is just part of like focusing on how that light affects the picture. And then, you know, adding this light here is going to involve doing this and doing this and doing this and doing this and just figuring out where is all the light going to spill out, where is it going to hit, where is it not quite going to hit. And yeah, so it might like look complicated and it might look like we're doing a whole bunch of different things all around the picture, but generally you can just process it light source by light source and just sort of build up your lighting bit by bit. And that tends to uncomplicate it a bit.
It would also help, adding some reflective light might also help you bring some color into the shadows, since a lot of them feel like they just shaded in black. So it might help to bring some color back into the shadows.
Yeah, there's definitely a reason why people tend to stay away, or most artists tend to stay away from like complete black, and tend to, you know, at least pull it back just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I hate going full black or full white.
I do feel like it's cool that the whole face is just dark.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those
I
eyeballs.
believe they
pop.
mentioned. Yeah, I believe they mentioned that's what they wanted to go for, that blank face in their comments.
That's fair.
I would add a little bit of light here on the nose. Not as much as I did here. It's just difficult to control on this program.
Mm.
Because like the cheeks would catch a lot more light than the rest of the face for the brightness of the eyes. That would make them extra shiny.
There is a kind of ridiculous comment left in the comment section there about the mane coloring. Don't listen to that person. Rarity does not have a rainbow mane, except for that one
I-
time.
And that time Rainbow Dash did Rarity's main, but that's Rainbow Dash, so
Yeah, like
There's a reason
it's
her
half and half
cutie
there.
mark is
Hmm.
not fashion.
Yeah,
Like,
so I've been drawing the leg bend while everyone else was giving wonderful information. I hope this is the drawing I did is a little helpful to keep the pony leg going while also doing that weird human pose. Little something more like this will really help accentuate what are the words, make it look more pony legs instead of human legs, just to get that anatomy in. It's really important to get those joints in the order that a pony would have them do, but not like how how a human would. So instead of just having the boop boop, you have the boop boop boop.
yeah, poses are weird. With the lighting stuff, this might just be me, but I find it really interesting to like look at 3D artists and like videos made by like 3D artists using Blender and that sort of stuff, and seeing how they light scenes. So it might be interesting to like look at some of that stuff if you want to dig more into lighting as well. Especially because like 3D artists tend to have like a lot more of a tend to approach it like from a realism kind of like a background. So it's really interesting to hear their perspectives.
Physics.
Yay, physics! But yeah, good drawing.
Super dynamic stuff from you is normal. Dynamic like lighting.
they do interesting art.
Looks incredible. I love it.
All right, let's move on to our next source. This one is by the Oreo Bandit. I was wondering what happened to all my Oreos. And I've started dabbling in digital art, and this is my attempt at drawing a unicorn in Tim Burton-esque style. Didn't someone else do Tim Burton-esque style like 3 weeks ago?
Very popular. It's a very popular one to attempt. It's very fun. Whimsical comes to mind.
Weird. Also, hey, Vatron. I have a question just about the technology you're using. What are you drawing on? Because it looks like a digital tablet, but is it an iPad or something? It's interesting. It's got a nice looking screen. I only ask that because I want to steal its screen.
Yep. There is this very weird pattern to the pixels and stuff. Looks fun.
I think we're getting distortion out of the lens on it. Because you can see the curving to it. Portions are... I'm trying to remember my Tim Burton stuff because I haven't seen a Tim Burton movie in quite a while. Now, that feels
They
like a
are
bit of a
long.
crime. Well, most of their characters are lanky, yeah.
I think I might try to make the top of the leg a little bit thicker, and then it will look even lankier because of the contrast.
Mm.
And then here you could bring back the swoops here to make her leg fluff.
I like that. That looks cool.
And then it ties it all together. I have Tim Burton references open next.
Nice.
References.
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 We'll preach it till we die.
And then if you look, a lot of Tim Burton's characters have like this wispy hair, so you could try to bring that into the tail. So instead of having this brush tail, you could have something more like...
Ooh, that's cool.
And then again, you bring all the swirls back into it.
Hmm.
Then for some extra Tim Burton, you can also like add some stripes to the tail. If you want to go really Tim Burton, because all the characters I'm looking at have stripes everywhere.
I notice your lines. Not the ones in the main as much, but like the ones that are doing the outlines. They're inconsistent in thickness, and well, I think a lot of it's contributed to the brush you're using. Like it's a texture brush, more of a like a flat brush. We can see parts of your lines where they're broken up into segments, and you've just gone back over and done basically this the entire way down. Best suggestion I can give: don't do that. Digital has this great thing of I get to enhance into the rump here, and then I can do this entire stroke in one easy movement. Now when I zoom out, now that's a smooth line. Highly suggest doing that. It's harder with traditional. You got to crack out the microscopes and stuff, and really get the hand coordination going. No, but with digital, this is one of the great things, along with Control Z and a paint fill bucket. Really,
Yeah,
those
learning
things.
like practicing drawing from the shoulder is super duper good and super useful.
I'm
It'll
bad at that.
help you draw for longer, and it'll help you draw better long lines, because instead of this kind of like a thing which looks just sort of disconcerting and a little bit like not together, which can help in a style like this. Sometimes it can produce like weird effects, but being able to do something like that, you'll just get like a better line as well. It'll look more confident. It'll look more accurate. It'll help your art look more professional, and so people focus on your picture rather than just the lines and stuff. If you want to draw a box, there's a site called Draw-a-Box, and the first lesson on there is all about drawing from the shoulder. You don't need to dig into any more of it. You can if you want to, but the first lesson at least is like goes over this drawing from the shoulder, drawing from the elbow, drawing from the wrist, sort of things. So they're good to look at if you're looking at this. I'm not sure why, but this area in particular is a really fun kind of construction all in there. I really like it. Good stuff. Probably bring that cheek up a bit. Yeah, something like that.
All right. Anyone else got any other elements on this one?
Nope.
All right. Let's move on to our next one.
Super
Yeah.
fun stuff. Keep it up.
Good drawing.
All right. This one is by. Hold on. Hello, boy. Tea. I drew this. I drew the OC of a person I met on Discord drinking delicious tea. Now, I would like to point out this person has done something that no one has done in about the last maybe 40 or 50 streams. They commented on the stream post asking for critique. Weird, right? You know that little blurb that says, if you got any art you'd like critiqued, ask here. So congratulations. You win prizes.
What's the prize?
To be
Prize
critiqued
is
here.
critique.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's
Uh,
so
Let me get their question, which seems like a thing I should have done right off the hop here. But yeah, where is it? There it is. So yeah, I would like to know is how I could improve on the shading and depth of the body, because those are the things I struggle with the most. Questions. We love questions. So, your question on shading. First step in shading ever. Almost ever. Mostly ever. Pick your light source. Where is your light coming from? You're going to have a primary, and then everything is secondary, tertiary, and so on and so forth. In this case, keep it simple. Silly. We're going to choose a single light source. The way I love to do it, I like to do a directional arrow for me. So it looks like you have a bit of a light source. It's the top, just slightly off center of the horse. So it's going to be like, yo. You got a direction coming here. It comes out. Look, slightly 3D, slightly tilted. We get an idea of where that light source is coming from. It's maybe it's a bit more of an angle, actually. Anyway, there's our directionality arrow. This tells us where that light is coming from, so we can always go back and reference that light. Because, oh boy, having something as a touch point, that helps. That helps so much. Especially on digital, you can just take that touch point and move it around. Be like, oh no, I'm zoomed in on this nose and I'm shading the nose, but where's the light? Oh look, I don't even have to move because the touch point followed me. Crazy, right? So yeah, draw your light source and give yourself a reference. Use the tools available for doing that. And that tool is a few pen strokes. Or place an object up there, You're going to place a plushie on the top corner of your screen. The plushie is the light of your world. And from there, we're just going to start throwing on some shading. For shading, when it comes to choosing your lightness and darkness and all that magic, I like to pick my middle tone, and then I like to work from there. As you go to, as long as you aren't doping with any sort of colors, your lighter tones are going to be up towards those yellows, and those darker tones are going to be towards the blues. As opposed to just grabbing your thing and moving towards black and white, we're going to grab that mid-tone of this sort of greeny, soft color. Kind of reminds me of like lawn. Yeah, like a lawn. We're going to grab that greeny soft color. We're going to start bringing it towards the blue here. We don't have to move that much. It doesn't take too much. Slightly darken it a bit. We've tinted it towards the blue. We're going to throw some of that on there. I like to use a large brush and then work away on it. But, you do you. You find what works best for you and how you like to do your shading. Because we have mane here, we're going to get just a bit up here. We're going to get some covered up by the mane over here, inside of the ear. This is actually a question of how your ear is shaped. Right now, I see you've said that this front area overlaps, so their bell of the ear is actually facing away from the body. Personally, I would do the bell of the ear facing forward, like a horse, like this one in the orange has done. So in that case, we'd actually only get a bit of shading around the lip of it, somewhere up here. And then for the rest of it, you'd get shadows dropped on the back side of the arms here. We get some from the coffee cup, get some on the back side here. And I just keep working away at those basic ones. For the highlighting, it's the exact opposite of what I just did. Moving slightly towards the yellow, moving slightly towards that. And I've exaggerated a bit just because it's easier to show exaggerated while the colors are stamped down by whoever did the whitewash here.
It
Oh,
was me.
Monster. And we
I'm
just
very
throw
sorry. I couldn't see what I was sketching.
we just throw on some of those highlights. And you're working from that point of light. For depending on how you want to do your highlights, I tend to do mine very minimalist like, because I don't like to do a full 3D shaded object anymore. I got tired of that and just go down to a cell shading or simple shading. For the highlights, I will just throw it on just the areas that I want to accentuate, really pop, that are sort of sharp and closest towards where the light source is going to be hitting, like as though it's a very directional light source as opposed to something like the sun, which is very large. So in this case, I do areas like the top of the muzzle, a little around the eye, definitely tip of the ears type of thing. Any folds that would happen around the ears, I'd do the top of the hoof, a bit of the shoulder, just to make certain areas pop a bit. And that's how I'd approach it. Everyone's different, everyone has different methods, but that's my method of madness.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this was mentioned before because I had to go do things, but when you're sort of drawing the side of the head, you see this overall head shape, and then you see this line that sort of goes down the middle, and everything sort of behind here, you sort of want to leave empty for the ear. You know, add the ear on here, and then the actual like eye, just place it sort of in the front half, because that's roughly sort of where it's going to be. You can see it similar in this drawing over here. And whenever sort of I'm doing like an actual head shape, what I'll do is I'll literally just do the head shape, and then do my little circle for the side of the head that sort of represents reserved space kind of thing. And I can draw the ear, the eyes, and the muzzle, and sort of whatever I need to, and then use this space as like a launch pad to draw the ears and stuff like that. But in general, looks pretty good. Messing around with the ear shape is always going to be fun. You can draw ears in like 100 billion different shapes. So just like look at different artists that you like and how they draw ears, and yeah.
Anyone else have any comments on this one? You do?
Nope.
I think we're all good to move on.
All right, let's move on to our next one. Do-do-do-do.
One.
I'm giggling at the pictures on our in the middle that you wonderful folks have drawn. The next one is by Soy Sprout. It's a ghetto one.
They're cute.
Yeah.
Goody patootie.
I love the design and expression. Do they have any comments?
I tried to make my Stardew Valley farmer into a pony and meh.
No, you
I
did
love that
great.
idea. Yeah, this is so good. I love it so much. I want to hug it.
I want to hug her.
I love the main,
Look
like,
at that
it's
fluff. It's so
a little twiddly
fluffy.
bit. You got so many cute, like lots of texture to it and lots of volume to it, and it's nice. I love that it's like a little tie on the tail, like where it's like a ponytail. It's
This is
nice.
so well done. I
And
love these
expression.
little bits
Yeah,
of,
Little blushes.
it's cute.
and all the blushes around here look super
Yeah,
super cute.
I love the expression because it's like it's not like they look too grumpy or anything, just maybe a little bit tired. Maybe
I
a
feel
little
like that's how
grumpy.
my Stardew Valley character feels all the time. She's just socially exhausted. That's why she doesn't talk with anyone.
There's a lot of immediate character in this, and I love that. It's so good. You did such a good job.
With the this rump area, we've got someone doing the more squared off sort of look. Honestly, I kind of like pulling back into it, but if I was doing it, I'd probably
I don't think it was
make that angle a little bit more even, so it like tapers down like a little bit more properly.
to me it wasn't so much that it was square, it's just how I draw. I
Yeah.
just so it doesn't go down before you get the tail. Oh, oops, I went too many Control Z's. So like make the place where the tail is coming out the highest place. That's what I was trying to do. You can still make it very round. Oh god, it's very difficult
Yeah.
when I'm not drawing in my style. Trying to draw in not the way you usually draw. And then have the tail come out here instead. So you're, because normally the butt is the highest place in the back. That's just where I was trying to get across. Instead of going down the whole way. Does that make sense?
All good. I'd probably this eye, this far eye, and this muzzle. If you want it to look more accurate, just shift both of those over just a little bit, and sort of you could shift this eye over just a tiny bit, but even just like making it a touch bigger, just so it's like, far eye is a bit shorter, close eye is a bit wider, all that sort of stuff. But that's a very, very tiny nitpicky sort of a thing, and the expression you've got here is looking great, so don't stress too much. Your art is good, so we're nitpicking, and we're just mentioning nitpicky stuff because like all of the normal stuff that we say to people doesn't really apply. It's just looks good.
I really like your style. It's like soft and round. It's good.
This is a really interesting way of doing like the where the hoof connects to the body. I like it.
Yeah, I like sort of implying that shape as well, but sort of like details and bits of fluff.
I always like having like at least one part of it that is just this like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that's just
Blended.
me. Yeah, that's just what I like.
All right, shall we move on to our next picture?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. This looks great. Looks
You
amazing.
should join our
Love it.
Discord so we can be
Yes.
friends.
They have a Discord, apparently. They're talking about it in their chat or in their comments. So you can find our Discord link up on our top left-hand corner. It says Discord. I'll bring you there. Oh, wait, no, that link doesn't work anymore. I'll have to re-update
wait.
our
I
links.
was gonna ask, did we put them back? Did we ever put the link back?
No, I haven't done that yet. I should probably do that one of these days. Yeah, I'll remake the link. If you want in, just ping me and I'll get you a link, or I'll
Yep.
update them. I'll do something.
PM Living Dead. It'll work.
Yeah.
You'll fix.
Yeah. Our next picture submitted. Tofu. No. Who is this? Is this Tofu?
Is it not tofu?
It's Tofu.
Tofu.
It looks like tofu's art, so I
It
thought
looks
it
like
was
tofu.
tofu.
I think it's Tofu.
It's
What was your
clearly
question?
vegan. It's tofu.
Clearly vegan. Yeah, they ate their eyeball.
I don't know if tofu is vegan.
I think the plant is, yeah.
The plant is. Most plants are. I don't know if you'd count carnivorous plants as vegan, but I don't think we eat them, so we haven't had to figure it out yet.
Like if the plant from Hotel of Horrors, or what was that giant plant that was eating people in a old horror movie? I forget the name of that. I'll remember one day.
Shop of Horrors.
That's it, Little Shop of Horrors. That plant.
I saw that once a long time ago.
If you ate that plant after it ate someone, is that cannibalism?
It's definitely vor.
Hmm.
Double
Alright.
vor. Because the plant
Double
ate
vor.
you, and then you
Yeah.
ate the... No, wait. The
plant
plant
ate
ate someone else.
It's plant vor, and then the other way around plant vor.
Alright, so
Or
their
just
question
vegetarianism.
Vegetarians.
their question is about improving the shading and better hair knowledge. Looks like Ali went on about the hair, so let's talk about the shading.
No, I did the opposite. I went on the shading
Ah.
and did not touch the hair.
Okay, hair. Just shave them bald. They're in the military.
No.
They
Right.
did provide an example of the hair they want to go for. Like they weren't sure how to do a very short, simplistic haircut. If you
I
scroll up a
mean,
bit,
Oh yeah.
it's so like subtle. Like it's there. There's nothing wrong with it. It gives you the idea of what you're trying to go for. It seems like short, but like there's volume to it, there's shape to it. I
Hmm.
think that it's not prominent enough that it really like you've nailed it pretty much. You don't really need to do anything else to it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
The hair.
for this sort of a level, it's fine. Looks good.
Definitely
know,
the fact that the beret, like berets cover a lot of the head too.
Mm.
Mhm. If you were giving
The
us
way
the
to
design without the hat, that'd be another thing.
the kind I think kind of just the way to improve it hair is just to draw different hairstyles and stuff. Just look at people who have like really dynamic styles of hair, like Ali, like Len, like other professional artists and that sort of stuff, and just spend a day. Yeah, just spend a day kind of looking at their stuff and then trying to break down the sort of shapes that they use and trying to break down, okay, how do I like look at this super amazing thing that they've drawn, and then how do I redraw it, and how do I sort of subtly change the shapes that they're using but still have it like look really dynamic and all that sort of stuff. And because if you can do it with like the super dynamic sort of hairstyles that they're going for, that's going to influence sort of how well you can draw like these very not as big and out there, not as flashy and extravagant styles as well. You're still going to get the shape knowledge and all that sort of stuff and all that from the extravagant styles. Yeah, for now, hair looks good. Hair looks fine. Spend a few days digging into it if you want to. If you want to level up with that. I like the shading. The shading looks good. Especially like around this front of the muzzle and the side of things here. You've taken what we and what I have said and applied it pretty well.
Anyone else got anything on this one?
Not really.
I mean, it's
Someone did some stuff with the hat.
I'm just having fun with some shading.
not allowed. Banned.
Yep.
All right. Anyone else have any other last minute questions? I don't think we have enough space to take any other art, but we'll happily take a question or two.
My question is, who the heck drew this? This
Chewy on the
this
bottom.
horse.
It just
So
showed
good.
up in the canvas. I don't understand it.
It's
so
so
just happened.
good.
It's the
Oh
magical
my God.
canvas one.
Look at it.
I love it. I love it so much.
Look at her horse. Her horse is amazing.
But was that like a Tim Burton example you were testing with?
Yeah, I sketched it in the bottom while I was eating jelly beans and was muted.
All right, I'm saving the canvas as a PNG, so you can't delete it. I'll have a copy forever.
It's fine. It was on the internet. It is already forever. I heard those PSAs in school. You can never delete the internet.
Watch me.
We can try to delete the internet if we want to.
I'll just go swim in the ocean, cut the cable. I delete at least half of the internet.
We need some people with shark OCs because they can go down and just nibble on the
Nom 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 nom.
Why are these arts so cute? That's my question. I blame the proportions of horses.
Horses are marshmallows, and marshmallows are cute.
Yeah, especially
There's
when you
also
put
cats
googly eyes
somewhere
on
in
them.
there.
All right. Well, with that, we're gonna call it a day. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you again next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Why?
Bye.
Bye.